Well, hello, everybody.
Hey, welcome.
We're so glad that you're here. Retail Recharge, a jolt of positivity
Yeah,
today.
I know. We're going to have fun today. We're a little bit early.
Yes.
Just popping in to get started and say hello to everybody. So just as you pop on, if you're starting to watch, go ahead and tell us your name. Tell us who you are. Tell us the name of your store and where you're from. We'd love to hear from you and just know who's on the call with us today.
Who's on the call? You know, if you might have anything in particular that you're feeling right now. How are you feeling about things? Are you ready for a recharge? Are you feeling good about things? Are you kind of afraid? What are you hoping to get out of today? So we will do what we can to do what you want us to do.
Absolutely. We have a really great lineup for you today. I'm really excited about everything that we're going to be talking about. You're going to get like literally tons of great ideas today during this live webinar. So I'm really excited. I hope you are. I hope you have your pens ready to take notes and all kinds of good stuff.
And one of the things that's happening today is you will learn how you might win $1,000 in cold, hard cash. So,
or maybe a Venmo or something. I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
I'll send you the cash. So,
yeah, anyway.
So, Aubrey, who do we have?
Nobody yet. We have a lag between when we start.
We just had Karen. She just popped in and said, hey. So
hi,
our
Karen.
first chatter.
Yeah,
right.
So if you're just joining us today, and we are early, so we're just here just saying hello, just giving everybody a chance to pop in and join us. But as you join, please let us know. Give us your name. Give us your store name. Tell us what you sell. Tell us where you're from. And like Bob said, what you're hoping that you might get from today. Hopefully a jolt of positivity for your business.
That is the plan, is to share a little jolt of positivity. So let's talk about what we're going to do today.
Okay.
So in the beginning, we're going to sort of do the whole jolt of positivity thing, and then we're going to really share 8 ideas, actionable ideas that you can use right now. It's one thing for us to give you a jolt of positivity, but also it's important that you get some ideas that you can use right now.
Yeah.
And then after that, we're going to, and this is really exciting, we're going to show you the world in which the Virtual Retail Success Summit is going to take place.
This ain't no normal Zoom room, baby.
This ain't no Zoom room. And then we're going to end up with a shortened version of the Retail Rumble. The Retail Rumble is something that Susan and I do every year at the Retail Success Summit. And at the Retail Success Summit, when we're on stage with our little buzzers,
we each get 1 minute. We get 1 minute, and if we don't, we get to. But we're not allowed to do it in the studio because it's too loud.
Strict instructions that we cannot blow the horn here. But we're going to do, what are we going to do, 12
ideas.
Rather than 60 ideas in 60 minutes, we're going to do
12 ideas in 12 minutes.
In 12 minutes.
Exactly. So, and the Retail Rumble's fun because it's all these little ideas. When we do the presentations at the Retail Success Summit, normally they're big, chunky, important, ideas. But there are all these little ideas, right? All these little pieces and little teeny things that you can do that you can take action on that will improve your business. And we've got 12 of them today that we're going to do. So we each get 1 minute. We picked our favorite ideas.
And I have $1,000 in my hand. And if you vote for me, I might give it to you, right?
That's not how it works. At the end of the
Susan
Rumble,
always wins.
You got to pick your own ideas. I got to pick my ideas.
I think there's some extra sympathy for Susan.
Oh, yeah,
because
sympathy because I have to be married to you? No, that's...
Well, that would evoke some sympathy, I think.
Oh, no, you're amazing.
So, Aubrey, do we have anybody saying who they are and where they're from? So when I look over there, I'm looking at Aubrey, by the way.
We do have some people joining us now. We have Michelle. She says, I want to win some cold, hard cash.
There you go, Michelle. Vote for me and I'll set you free.
That's not how you win. Sorry, I'm going to take a little picture. of Aubrey. So, and I'll post it on Whiz Bang Retailers. You guys can see it. No, you lean forward.
Van Cooley is here
go.
from Malmborg's Garden Center in Rogers, Minnesota.
All right.
Terry King's here from My Secret Garden.
Hello, Terry.
We got Susan here from a PCU.
Hi,
All
Susan
right.
from Michigan.
Yeah. Vanessa's here from Tumblewood Toys in Kamloops, BC, Canada.
All right.
We have Summer here from Lansing, Michigan. She's local to
Michigan's
us. There we
representing.
go.
Bay City is really representing. We have two, both Terry and Susan.
Yeah.
Bay City, Michigan.
We've got Nanette here from, I'm going to get this wrong, Guanabo, Puerto Rico.
All right.
Nice.
So visiting joining us all the way from Puerto Rico.
Nanette, we just had, in January, we had our Platinum Mastermind group meeting in San Juan, and we had a lovely, lovely time. You have a beautiful island. And then Susan and I went to go visit some old kite flying friends who have a home in Rincon. So we love Puerto Rico. So yes.
Yeah, you guys are flying in so fast now. You guys are going so fast. I can't even get your names out as quickly as you're putting them in. So we got some people from Merle Norman in Ohio.
All right. Hello, Merle girls.
We got somebody from Toronto, it looks
right.
like. Gloria Kinney. She's also here from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. So we got another Michigander.
Gloria.
Nice. The Michiganders
Yeah.
representing. Fantastic. Were you guys all stuck in the ice storm here in Michigan?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask Terry and Susan. So I was up north in our house in Mackinac City, Michigan, this past weekend. Here's Michigan, there's Mackinac City, and man, oh man,
Huge ice storm.
A huge ice storm.
Huge ice storm.
Huge.
Yeah, crazy.
When the power went out, that old drafty house got pretty cold pretty fast.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead.
Lots and lots of people just are showing up. So I'm
Okay.
excited to see them all. Beyond just having the ice storm last week, we do have a bit of a thunderstorm rolling in. So bear with
That's
us
true.
if you guys start seeing flashing lights, loud thunder booms.
What's
We
the
got
deal?
some
You'd think
severe
it was
storm
spring
coming.
or something.
Yeah.
Right? What?
Spring in Michigan, thunderstorms and ice storms
And then
all
tomorrow
piling
it'll
in.
be 80. So
You just
here
never
we go.
know.
All right, it is 1 o'clock. I
Yes.
think it is time for us
Time to get-
officially begin.
To get started, but to Aubrey's point too, like if we suddenly disappear, it could be that the power went out. We don't know. I'm not going to affirm that. That is not going to happen. But just in case. So yeah, all right, let's get started.
Let's
Sorry.
get started. So for those of you who just got in, who are very, very prompt, welcome to the Retail Recharge. This is going to be an amazing hour filled with great information, fun stuff. As I mentioned earlier, somebody's going to win or get a chance to win $1,000.
You're going to tell them how they can
I'm
win
going to
them.
tell you how you can win. We're going to do a version of the Retail Rumble, something we always do at the Retail Success Summit. You're going to get a sneak peek of this year's virtual Retail Success Summit. As Susan said earlier, this ain't no Zoom room, baby.
No.
This is going to be really fun, and
We're
I
really
think you're going to
excited.
really be excited when you see it, that preview, and then at the end. So we always do our very, very best to end right on the hour, but we will also stay as long as you have questions. So if you have questions for me or Susan, we are here for you. This is, this is your hour.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us for the first time, if you don't know who we are, I'm Susan Nagin,
And I'm Bob Nagin.
and we
We're
are
the Nagins.
We're the Nagins, and we are the co-founders of Whiz Bang Retail Training. And for, gosh, Bob, can you even believe it? 25 years
I
this
know.
year. We've been working with independent retailers from all over the world to help you run amazing, successful, fun, profitable, and stress-free retail businesses. That's our goal anyway. And Bob owned his own independent retail store just like you guys for 19 years, the Mackinac Kite Company.
Oh, you want me to tell you about
Yeah,
it?
I do want you to tell you.
So for
Don't tell,
19
I know
yeah,
about it. You should tell them about it.
So for 19 years, in 1981, I was 23 years old. Yes, I'm that old. And I started one of the world's first kite stores in Mackinac City, Michigan. I just did that. And for 19 years, first year I hired my brother Steve. And for 19 years, we grew that business and we turned it from first year we did 17,000. It was a seasonal
Woohoo!
store. First year we
Big
did
bucks, honey.
$17,000. And when I sold my share of the company to Steve in 1999, we were a multi-million-dollar, multi-chain store. We had moved from kites to kites and toys, and then we started this. But I think the thing that's relevant, or most relevant to perhaps this conversation, is when I started, I didn't know anything. But and it was always hit and miss, try and screw things up and move and move. But when I sold to Steve, we were a company that ran really, really well. And the reason that we started this is so that you don't have to go through all of the pain that Steve and I went through. And a big part of the Mackinac Kite Company going from being a really good, solid, independent brick and mortar retailer to being a really good brick and mortar retailer that ran incredibly well, that was kind of on rails, that was everything I had ever hoped it would be, was because Susan came to work for us.
Oh,
and
that's
Susan,
nice, honey.
Yeah, well, credit where credit is due, because Susan brought a new set of skills to the Mackinac Kite Company. We were a very entrepreneurial company, like many of you are. And then Susan, I'll let her tell about her background, but she brought her background and those skills into the Mackinac.
Yeah, just really quickly, because we don't need to go into detail, but my background was in big department store retailing. I worked for Bloomingdale's and Macy's and Lord & Taylor. I did everything from being an apartment manager, like I was the manager of the jewelry department at the Palo Alto Macy's in California, to being a buyer, and so did a lot of different work in all areas of those big corporate retail environments, and I learned a lot. I got taught a lot, but Bob has a lot of really specific entrepreneurial skills, and I have a little bit of those big box skills. So together, we decided that we have the complete package, and that's why we started Whizbang Training.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And and it's been so gratifying to be able to help so many of you. And so that's why we're here. That's why we're still doing this, is because we love you. We love what you represent. We love how you show up in the world, and we want to do everything we can to help you get better, to help you have more impact, to help you make more money, because at the end of the day, this is what we want, right? To have a bigger impact on your community. But right now, things are a little tricky. Let's just
the headlines
let's just acknowledge
are a little
that.
gloomy.
They're a little gloomy.
A little gloomy right now, but that's okay.
Sure.
They are what they are. Let's.
Do you want me to just read a couple?
Yeah, these are things where we just pulled a couple of the headlines from the news.
We didn't have to look very far to find the gloomy headlines. This is from J.P. Morgan Chase. 40% chance of recession this year.
Wah, wah.
I like that. There you go. Fortune magazine says consumer confidence is at a 12-year low.
Wah, wah, wah.
Good one. There you go. Okay.
Even worse.
This is going to be the third one. Let's see if you can really put something into this one. The Associated Press says the United Nations chief warns a global trade war could be triggered by U.S. tariffs. So the whole thing. So
headlines are not great. That's just the facts. So we're
let's just recognize. I mean, acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Acknowledge it, and acknowledge the way that many of you are feeling.
I would love to know. Put in chat, please. Are you worried about these kinds of headlines? Are these things making you worried? How are you feeling about what's, the headlines across, Associated Press, Reuters, like all the biggest news outlets? How is it making you feel? Are you nervous, or are you still feeling really optimistic? So let's just hear.
Yeah, and if you're part of our Whizbang Retailers Facebook group, which if you're not, I would certainly encourage you to go there and join. there's been a lot of chatter. There's been a lot of this. You can feel it.
Nervousness.
There is definitely anxiety. So again, as Susan said, if you're feeling that, please put it in chat. We'd love to know how you feel, and then we'll see when Aubrey lifts this up. But here's the thing that we really want to talk about. Oh, go ahead, Aubrey. Do you have anything that you want to that people are sharing?
People are sharing a few things. Canyon said, I'm up almost 20%. What you think about is what you bring about.
There
love
you
it.
go.
I love
Thank you,
it.
Cannon.
We had Merle Norman say that they're not scared. We had Summer say she's terrified. Terry said she's worried. Merle Norman said we made it through COVID.
We're going to get there in a second.
Gloria said, oh, Gloria's disappeared. She said something. Chat is moving very quickly now.
Okay.
So people are putting in lots of both directions.
And it sounds like
both ways, sure.
And this is perfect too, because it really is. There are two sides to the story, and both sides can coexist at the same time. But to the person from Merle Norman, I want to reaffirm this. We've been here before.
We've been in tighter spots before.
So let's just take a look at the history. And if you've been in business during these events, please put your name in chat.
Or say, I was there.
Yeah, that's right.
I was there.
Who was there in 2001 when the dot-com bubble collapsed? And, there was a recession. There was a big recession.
Gosh, Bob, that was the first year we were in business. Great time to start a business. But hey, we made it.
That's exactly
We made it.
So, and then in 2008, who remembers this one? The recession caused by the housing market crashing. Now, this is kind of fun because this is when we were in our last office on the river. And, all of a sudden, remember when Lehman Brothers went, it was
in November. It was scary.
It was scary. It was scary. And again, there was so much anxiety in our community. And I made a video on YouTube.
It's still there.
And it's still there someplace. And I said, they haven't canceled Christmas. And that I've never had that's the only video I've ever made or we've ever made that went viral. You could literally refresh and see, because everybody wanted to hear this message that no matter what, Christmas is still going to be there.
People is coming.
Still have money, and people are still going to shop. Don't be afraid. Get out there and get that money. Do that work.
Yeah.
And then, of course, COVID came, and we all know.
We all know.
And just about everybody lived through that. But, the important thing here is you've got this. You've got this. That, if you've made it through COVID, just about everybody who is in business now was in business in COVID. That was a terrible, terrible time, but you've got this. So, Aubrey, has anybody chimed in? Oh, you're just typing like crazy, aren't you? We'll just let Aubrey go.
She's responding.
So you've got this. Let's just acknowledge that you have been through this before. If you're an old timer, I know that Terry King's an old timer. I'm an old timer. All of us old timers, we've been through this several times before. So yes, you can be worried. Yes, you can be anxious. Those are natural human feelings when the news is not good. But you also have to counteract it. You have to understand that you've been there before. And so the term that I like to use is battle-tested veteran. Every time you go through something like this, whether big or small, you get better. You develop skills that you didn't have before. You develop mindsets that you didn't have before. All of these things, you get better. And so one of the things I really want to encourage you to recognize is that every time you go through a hard time, you will be better equipped to take advantage of the good times.
Yeah. And so going through COVID.
Right.
And honestly, we don't know what's going to come about in the next 6, 12, 8. We don't know. And I think a lot of it is that uncertainty that is difficult. But you guys have been through, the firestorm before, and the thing that everybody really discovered, in like when during COVID, we did a daily podcast during COVID.
Coronavirus in the independent retailer.
Yeah.
What a terrible name for a podcast.
I think we were shell shocked. We were all shell shocked. We weren't good at naming.
That's snappy.
We're like, that's okay. We're just it didn't matter what it was called. What it mattered was that we did it, and we talked, and we together, you and us, and together our community reacted. And what we learned really was that we have control. We have a lot of control, even when there are things that seem out of our control. The macroeconomic environment, what the International Monetary Fund, like, you've got this, right? You have control over so much of what happens in your business. And, it's so important to, to really realize and remember that you have the power. You have the power to, like Cannon said, what did she say, Aubrey?
What you think about, you bring about?
Yeah, what you think about, you bring about. That's it, right? So that's a
Got
great.
a mind like a steel
you should
trap.
write that down. Thank you, Cannon, for sharing that. That's a great mindset piece, and what you think about, you bring about. So we have to remember that we have this. We have control. There are things we can do, and we're going to talk about a bunch of them today. So.
And so let's go back to the headlines, because a lot of people, when they read the headlines, especially headlines about retail, and remember the retail apocalypse that happened a year or two ago, when the business press covers retail, they're not talking to you,
No.
right? They're not talking about ambiance or, My Secret Garden or, the local yarn store. They're talking about the big stores, because that's what they have access to information.
They're talking about Walmart.
They're talking about Walmart. They're talking about Target. They're talking about Amazon. Costco. And those companies are absolutely affected by macroeconomic trends. I mean, they live in that world. But so the metaphor here is a freighter and a speedboat. So a freighter.
This was from the Retail Success Summit, I think 4 years ago.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. So, but what is a freighter has a lot of advantages. It's huge. It has enormous capacity. It has enormous range. It can bash through any amount of waves probably. It has its own advantages, its own competitive advantages.
And that's Costco, and that's Walmart. And those
exactly, but you are the speedboat. You have the ability to turn on the dime. You have the ability to make a decision and run with it.
And execute.
Yeah. You have the ability to, as Cannon said, to affect your mindset. You have the ability to, you can send an email today. As soon as we're done with this event, you can do a Facebook or an Instagram live and drive people into your store. So you have the ability to zig and zag and be nimble and be quick.
And go places the big freighter can't, right?
Yes.
So I think it goes back to what I was saying about control, that you have a lot of control over your business. The freighter doesn't have that much control. They can't turn quickly. They cannot go into shallow spots. They don't have a lot of control. They have some power, but they don't have a lot of control. You guys have a ton of control over what's happening to you in your community, on the sales floor, in your stores. So that's awesome.
And something that just struck me as we were talking, particularly about COVID and the podcasts that we did, is the importance of community.
Yes.
And connection.
Yes.
When things get anxious, when times are like this, and there's community is important for a couple of reasons. One is, and this is a term that you coined, that's so, Susan coined a term, business lonely.
Oh, yeah.
And, and think about your own experience. If you're not talking to anybody and you're just living in the world of headlines, it starts to sort of settle into your heart, that stress. And so the ability to, to get together with other independent retailers like you're doing right here
Exactly.
is so important for your mindset. This is why we absolutely love the Retail Success Summit, is because it's so important for you to realize that there are other people who are going through the same thing you're going through.
Yeah.
This is why
Make
Whiz Bang Retailers is such a powerful group, because there's people who are chiming in and letting you know that you are not alone. So many good things are happening. Please recognize that you control your destiny, that you've been there before. And yes, nobody likes it when times are tough. But again, I'm going to say it one more time. Recognize that what you're going through is going to make you stronger. It's going to make you better. And when this ends, as these things always do, you're going to be even better equipped to make your mark on the world.
Yeah. And like I said, I think part of the anxiety right now is this just uncertainty. It's just, I don't think anybody knows exactly what's going to happen. And so I think that's part of it. So you can take control, and we're going to talk about eight things in 4 different broad categories that you can pick up today and start to do these things to get control and take action regardless of economic ups, economic downs. It doesn't matter. You guys can do these things and immediately start to gain traction in your business.
Yes. And one of the things that we're going to talk about a little later, but I'm going to sort of start with this, is this idea of always respond to stress with action.
That's the last thing.
I know, but I'm gonna start it, and you know what I'm doing.
You're bookending.
I'm bookending.
Oh,
it.
you're so smart.
Little speaker's trick
okay,
here,
there
right?
we go. All
tell
right.
them what they're going to learn, then tell them what they learned.
All right, we're
like
going to do 3
all right.
marketing ideas. We're going to talk about
marketing.
3 like almost instantaneous, cheap, fast marketing ideas that you can use to drive some traffic. So,
Good.
Go ahead.
Number 1, activate the pina colada principle. And for years, I've been teaching that you're responsible for your traffic. Chamber of Commerce isn't responsible. Your vendors aren't responsible for coming up with a hot toy or whatever you sell. The name of the game is you need to drive traffic. And so I taught this concept for years, but then Misha Seto, who's been our friend for years and years, she has 12 or 13 stores in Lewis, Delaware, and it's a beach business.
Beach town,
and
yep.
Whenever it rains, she serves pina coladas, right? The rain typically suppresses traffic. Not for Misha. Misha gets more traffic when it rains because she has a great idea. She created her own traffic. And so I took it from you're responsible for your own traffic, which is boring, to the pina colada principle. And the pina colada principle says there's always something you can do to drive traffic.
Can I give you another example of
sure,
the pina colada?
Of course.
So Misha pours pina coladas when it's raining. That's her thing. Our friend Kelly Larson, right here in Grand Haven,
Hey, it's
Michigan.
her birthday too.
It is her birthday.
Happy
birthday,
Kelly,
Kelly Larson, if
watching.
you're watching. She's definitely one of our favorite retailers here in Grand Haven, Michigan. She has an ice cream store in Michigan, and it's open all year round. And so what she does in the winter, when it's snowing, she offers a discount on her ice cream cones. So it's this same idea, like you have an adversity, something that's maybe going wrong. What's your antidote?
Be the
speedboat. What's your antidote? What's your pina colada? Maybe if you're a toy store, if it's raining, you have a Mancala tournament every time it's raining in your store, or I don't know. What's the thing that you can do?
Mancala, that's a bad blast from the past.
I love that game, right? It's fun. It would be fun to have a Mancala tournament. So what's the thing that you can do to immediately send out an email, post on Facebook, and get people into your store? That's your pina colada.
That's a pina. So our friend and mentor, Randy Gage, says there's no shortage of money. There's only a shortage of ideas. You're smart, creative people. find the idea, make things happen, employ the pina colada
In the
principle.
chat, if you can, if this has sparked an idea, like what are you going to do? What's your pina colada principle? Put it in chat. Let's see what it's going to be.
All right, there we go. Number 2, send a thank you card to your top 100 customers. Just you and your team, when there's nobody in the store, start writing cards. People love a handwritten card. You'll make it even better and more powerful if you put a gift certificate with it. Not a coupon, a gift certificate. So that's another idea that
do you have to ask them to come in and buy something in the card, Bob?
What's that?
Should you ask them to come?
No, you shouldn't. This should just be a thank you.
Yeah.
You just, hey, thank you. What you're doing is you're showing your appreciation, you're showing gratitude. The gift certificate is an implied, come on in and spend this.
Sure.
But, at some level, gratitude, building that emotional bank account that we talk about is super, super important. So
imagine if you send a thank you card to your top 100 customers, how much stronger the bonds are with your company, how many of them are going to come in and shop with you right away just because they got a reminder about you.
Yeah. And
try this one.
So, and if you send out 100 cards, my guess is that, especially if you send out a gift certificate with it, a sincere handwritten thank you, what percentage do you think would be redeemed?
I think 20%, which is massively high.
Yeah,
is that what you think?
I was going to say 30, because these are your top 100 customers.
Yeah.
So anyway, good. Okay, let's go on to the
2 points that he said. I want to emphasize: handwritten thank you note. Don't just print a thank you letter and sign it. Write the thank you note. That makes a big difference. Personal, genuine thank you.
These are relationships.
Yeah.
So the final thing is to walk your business district with gift certificates. So, and if you don't, if you're not in a traditional downtown, every town has business districts, strip centers, things like that. And we're not going to go into the nuts and bolts of gift certificate marketing. If you have the retail mastery system, you know all about it. If you've been part of this community for any amount of time, you know that gift certificate marketing, just giving somebody a gift certificate, with only one line of fine print, please, only one gift certificate per person, is a powerful way to drive traffic. Respond to stress with action. Get out, print up some gift certificates, walk up and down the street, walk into businesses, introduce yourself, give gift certificates to the owner, to whoever you talk to.
To the lawyer's office, the accountant's office, the dentist's office, the chiropractor office, whatever.
Everybody,
Yeah.
But just get them out there like hotcakes. Get people in the store. The other thing that happens, and I'm not trying to be metaphysical here, but there's something about it. When you start to hustle, the universe sort of shifts for you, right? And it just starts to work. Yeah. So these are 3 ideas that you can do.
Hustle. This is all about hustle, right?
Shoe leather marketing.
Hustle.
Get out there. Get the hustle going.
Good. All right. We're going to move on to buying. Buying. So these are a couple of ideas that you can use in your buying strategies that are going to help you do 3 things. Hopefully maintain merchandise flow. Really important right now. Maintain your cash flow. And really try to keep your customer focused lens on your merchandise assortment as you go. So 3 quick things. The first one, this comes from, we talked about Misha Seto. This one comes from our friend Lisa Roberts. And this was when we were in the midst of COVID. And she was having trouble with her, with her merchandise flow and and so we had a long conversation with her. She was starting a toy store. She was opening her toy store in the middle of COVID. And she's like, I don't know what I'm getting. I'm like, okay, here's what you're going to do. And this is what I suggest you do. Start a vendor scorecard. Just create a spreadsheet. And you're going to start to create a vendor scorecard that just has some key metrics about each one of your vendors so that where you need to go to get your highest margin. So you, like, on your scorecard, create a scorecard that has things like total sales, margin percentage for each vendor. gross margin return on inventory investment. If you've got the retail mastery system, go look up that stat in the financial management module. Gross margin return on inventory investment. For every dollar that you spend, how much do you get out from that vendor? And then what is you can just do, some of them can be objective, like these scoring. Like, how important is this vendor to you overall in your business? So start to do a vendor scorecard so that you can really, really pay attention to and focus on buying and creating the best relationships with the vendors that have the biggest impact on your business. Okay, so start to create a little vendor scorecard. And, do you have anything you want to say about that?
No. I think that's absolutely perfect. And especially when supply chains get a little wonky, and they may because of tariffs. Today is, there's going to be a big announcement today about tariffs. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yep.
But being very in tune with your inventory is so important. And the second thing we want to talk about here is your relationships with your vendors becomes even more important.
Yep.
Don't treat your vendors like
adversaries.
You really need them. And when you treat them with respect and dignity, they're going to treat you with respect and dignity. We learned this when we sold yo-yos. I mean, everybody wanted yo-yos. We took such good care of our vendors, and we were always the first order off the dock. So do this. Be very, it's very important.
So tactically, what I think you need to do with this idea about creating strong vendor partnerships, after you've created your scorecard, now you've got maybe your top 10, your top 20 vendors, the ones that you know are key and critical for your merchandise flow. Get on the phone, not an email, not a text. Get on the phone and start having serious conversations with your vendors. And one of the first questions I want you to ask them is, what can I do to help you? Guys, they are feeling the same stress and uncertainty and all the things that we're feeling. So ask them, how can I help you? What do you need me to do? Because we talk all the time about givers get, right? So find out what your partners need, and then don't be afraid to ask for what you need also, so that you're in exchange. But the idea is really have that person-to-person conversation, and start to build those strong bonds now. Full
there
stop.
You go. Good. The final thing with inventory is go narrow and deep. Now is the time to be fully stocked in your best sellers, so that when your customers need what you sell, now's not the time. You can try a little pockets of things, but be very, very strategic about your inventory management. Now let's move on. Now let's talk about the number one thing we believe that you should do when times are uncertain, and that is focus on every single customer who comes into your store, and maximizing every opportunity. And that comes with sales training.
Yep.
Now, we have the Retail Sales Academy. That's our recommendation, is that you sign up for the Retail Sales Academy and get your team through it and do all those things. But we know that not everybody's going to do that. So, but do some sales training. Have a meeting, talk to your people about what you have, what are the key features and benefits. If you have some selling skills, share it with them. But really, really focus on building the average ticket. The average ticket's going to be so important when times are uncertain, because this is the traffic you already have. So selling is so important. And the final thing here is your mindset. Did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I was going to say something, but that's okay.
But we're already running behind.
I know, only by a minute.
Okay.
Go ahead.
2 minutes.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, in terms of selling, I just want to say this one thing is that, look, guys, if you've got somebody in your store, you can't afford not to have that every single interaction be amazing. You can't afford it. You can't afford to lose an item off that sale. You can't afford to lose that sale. And if it's a crummy, interaction, you can't afford to lose that customer. So you have to focus on that individual salesperson customer interaction.
Yeah, and just ask yourself, or better yet, you and your team members go out into your town and go shopping and have everybody come back and say, hey, what kind of experience did you have? Because chances are you're going to have a whole bunch of really, really bad experiences. And that becomes the starting point for conversations about, let's not be that store. Let's be the store where people get a
You're
great
stepping on my toes
experience.
here, babe, for my retail rumble. So shh.
Oh, I guess I knew that.
Yes, you did know that.
Mommy and Daddy are fighting. Can I have some more water on me, please? All right.
All right.
Okay, there
hope
we go.
you liked those. So that was 8. And then the last one was always respond to stress with action.
Yeah. And I want to add one more thing about that. You know, when things get uncertain, double down on your stress reducing whatever you do. You know, I mean, when you get stressed, go for a walk. Do the things that help you feel calm. Do the things that help you feel centered. Do the things that help you stay positive and optimistic.
Yeah, but taking action is one of the things that's going to do that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Aubrey, any comments or thoughts or questions?
So many comments.
Oh, good.
There were so many good comments around ideas that were popping into their heads when you guys were talking about the pina colada principle.
Awesome.
And people are doing a great job to responding to other people's questions. You can tell you have a lot of lifelong whiz bangers on here.
Yay!
They're giving the Bob and Susan responses to those questions.
Yay, I love it.
That's great.
That's
great.
Good.
Okay. Good. So let's talk about the summit.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Retail Success Summit. And if you liked those ideas, and if you liked that all this, this mental energy that's come just from that was 10 minutes, folks, 15 minutes. You're going to love what we're going to tell you about the Retail Success Summit.
Yeah. So what is the Retail Success Summit and why is it virtual this year? Let's start with that.
Well, first of all, Imagine Main Street. Imagine Main Street. That's our theme for this year.
Yes.
So what we're hoping is that you get to really imagine your success, imagine amazing team, imagine a store filled with customers, imagine higher sales. And, all of you independent retailers are out there making this happen every single day. And the Retail Success Summit is one of the ways that we can help.
Yeah. And so typically it is held in person in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And we've been doing it we've done it 18
This will
times.
be our 18th year.
This will be our 18th year that we've done the Retail Success Summit. And it really, truly is a great event where so many, several hundred people come together. The energy's high. As Susan said, if you want to build that business that you imagined when you opened your store, the information and the inspiration will go so far towards helping you realize that dream. But this year, we decided to go virtual. And we did this for a very, very specific reason.
Well, we decided to do it last year, but we decided that this year's.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So this year's event is going to be, the 2025 event is going to be virtual. And what we found was so many people wanted to come, but weren't able to come.
For a variety of reasons.
For every kind of reason. People have family obligations. People have small stores and not big teams, and they're not able to get away.
A lot of people.
We have members of this community literally all over
the world.
And we did, and we were so honored. Somebody came all the way from Bangalore, India, one summit, and I met her and I said, "Well, thank you so much for coming to the summit. Are you is this part of a bigger trip to the United States?" She said, "No, I flew in. I'm flying out tomorrow." I mean, that's quite a commitment, but we wanted it to be easy for you.
For everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah, we really want everybody to have this opportunity. So we're back virtual this year. So hopefully make it easy and make it affordable for everybody to come and get all the ideas and inspiration at this amazing conference, the Retail Success Summit. Normally it's 2 days when it's in person, live in person. Virtually, we're going to spread it out over 3 days so that we're not exploding your brain to be virtual for, many, many, many hours a day. So we're going to spread it out over 3 days. It is May 20, 21, and 22. And we'd love to have you join us in our virtual world. And I think, Indy, we've got a little video to give you guys a little sneak peek. And like we said, this ain't no Zoom room, so let's check it out. Ooh, here we go. We're flying in. This is our virtual world that we're going to be having our conference in. And when you head inside, we're going to be seeing the lobby here. So this is our lobby. This is the main lobby area, and we're going to be able to do all kinds of things. You're going to be able to go into the auditorium and see the programs and sessions and speakers. There is a lounge where you can meet actual face-to-face conversations with either your friends that you already know. You can search for your friends. You can, start up random conversations with people who are at the summit, just like you would if you were at the Starbucks line on the way into the summit, right? You might be standing next to somebody and strike up a conversation. You can do the same thing. We're going to have photo booths and prizes and games and all kinds of fun stuff, but mostly it's going to be 3 amazing days of world-class information for independent retail stores from me, from Bob, from our guest speakers, and one of our all-time favorite keynote speakers has agreed to join us again this year virtually. So
yeah, so Ari Weinzweig, and if you've been to the summit and have seen Ari, please put, share it with everybody in chat. But Ari is always, I think he's spoken 3 times now.
I don't know.
But whenever he comes, everybody absolutely loves him. Ari is the co-founder of the Zingerman community of businesses. It started as a delicatessen. It is a world famous deli in Ann Arbor, Michigan. And Ari's just a brilliant business thinker. Inc. magazine named Zingerman's one of the top small businesses to work in the United States. I mean, he's written 6 or 7 books.
Yeah.
He's a
brilliant business thinker.
Brilliant business thinker. He's the most down to earth, the most human person. I mean, he's just great. You're going to absolutely love paying attention and learning from Ari.
And he's gonna talk about the customer experience and how they create the customer experience at Zingerman's. And he's going to share what he calls his recipes. He's going to give them all to you. So I'm really excited about it.
And it's going to be fun too, because it's not going to be like it's not going to be a 1-hour talking head. What it's going to be is Susan and Ari and I are going to have a conversation about service. And you, if you're there at the Retail Success Summit, will be able to ask questions of me and Susan and Ari in chat. So it's going to be a great big community conversation with a really, really smart guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's talk about the pricing.
Well, before that, I know that we have some great little videos of people who have been to the summit before. And by the way, if you've been to the summit before and you're here on this, we'd love for you to put in chat. Are people putting in chat anything about the summit right now?
Lots of excitement over Ari.
Yeah,
so
lots of excitement over Ari.
Oh, good. Yeah, we were excited too.
Yeah, if you've been to the summit, Ari's amazing. If you've been to the summit before, just put in what your experience is like. So
the only thing that I don't like about this is because we like Ari so much, and it's just great to see him in person, and it's just sort of
well, we'll go take him out to lunch. He's not far from us, so we'll go have lunch with him someday. So we're gonna play. This is from Jodine. This is what she had to say about being at the summit.
I'm having such a great time here at the summit. I'm learning all kinds of amazing things about AI. I first discovered Bob and Susan back in 2020 when they got me through the pandemic. They didn't know how valuable they were to me then. but I sure do appreciate it, and I just hope to get as much added tomorrow as I did today.
That's great. So she was at our very first virtual Retail Success Summit in 2020. And we had to whip that thing out in like 30 days. And that was before anybody knew how to do anything virtual. We were in a panic, but we did it, and it was super fun. And we did a virtual one in 2021 as well, which was amazing. So we had Gary Vaynerchuk as our guest speaker.
Yep, Gary V was
Gary V for the
and
for
we had
2020.
Randy Gage as our keynote for one of our virtual events. You know,
Yep.
these are all people that, when you listen to them, you start to understand the depth of possibility. You know, that you really start to go, oh, I never thought about this way. You know, talking to Ari about the customer service and the customer experience and what they've done, how they've created legendary customer service at Zingerman's. You know, all of these things. Oliver Wendell Holmes said, "A mind once expanded will never shrink to its original size." This is what the summit will do for you.
Exactly. All right. How do you register? Let's talk about that.
Okay. So how do you register? Aubrey's going to put a link in chat, right?
Yep.
And so normally,
Bob's like,
it's www.retailsuccesssummit.com. So
There
if
you
you're
go.
not reading the chat, www.retailsuccesssummit.com.
she sounds like an ad on the radio. www.retailsuccesssummit.com. Say it about 5 times. www.retailsuccesssummit.com. But normally the price is your investment is $997, and it is a steal for what you're going to get at $997.
yes.
But right now, it's only $497.
Early bird special deal.
Early bird special. So now, but let's talk about how it gets more interesting. So remember, I shared with you earlier that we're going to be giving away $1,000, 10 $100 bills. Well, what we're doing, if you want to win $1,000, what you have to do is register. And on April 30th, the last day of Early Bird, we're going to draw and somebody's going to win $1,000. So now if you register today,
And today only.
you get 10 chances to win $1,000. Now, talk about the descending.
Yeah, so today only, if you register today for the summit, 10 chances, your name goes in there 10 times. If you register tomorrow and for the next week, you get 4 chances to win. You get your name put in the bin 4 times. If you register the week after that, 3 chances. The week after that, 2 chances. The week after that, 1 chance when you register, but you get a chance to win $1,000. And then on April 30th, we're going to go live and we're going to pick our $1,000 winner.
I'm peeking. I see Andy Tassine. I see Jennifer Armentrout. So, but anyway.
People who have already registered.
These are people who have already registered. So register today. It really does. I mean, it's going to be such a great event. And let's sweeten it up even more. If you come and you don't, and day one doesn't just blow your mind, give us a call. We'll give you all of your money back plus $500.
Yeah. Why? Why are you doing that, Bob?
I thought I made the wrong guarantee.
No, you were right. That's right.
That's always been.
How can you give a better than money back guarantee?
Well,
Bob?
we can give a better than money back guarantee because we know that
you'll love it.
That you'll love it. And in the 18 years that we've done this, we have given the money back to one person, and she didn't ask for the extra $500. She just said, "This isn't for me." You know, she had a gym or something like that. And she just was like, "This isn't the right fit." So we're like, we gladly gave her the money back. This is how confident we are that if you choose to invest your time and money in this event, that you're going to be thrilled with what you're going to learn. You're going to be thrilled with how you feel. You're going to be thrilled with the experience. You're going to be thrilled with the opportunities you get to meet other people. You're going to be thrilled with the virtual world. This is just our way of saying,
try it. We're going to take all the risk.
We know there's always risk, right?
Yeah.
There's always risk when you buy something. All of the risk has been taken away.
Yeah, you got nothing to lose,
than
literally.
Money back guarantee.
Yeah. And it's so easy to attend this year in your pajamas from your sofa. Like if you have to work on the floor, you can have it going on in the background. And which brings me to our last point about the Retail Success Summit today is that okay, maybe you can't make all 3 of the days, or there will be more breakout sessions at any given time than one person can attend, for sure. So, what we're doing is we have, not only are you going to get recordings, but the entire virtual world there's going to be lots of digital swag and giveaways and all kinds of stuff from our speakers and things. All that stuff's going to still live there for 30 whole days after the summit. So if you missed a session, if you want to see a different breakout than the one you attended live, if you want to go back and grab some digital swag that you forgot, or if you got an idea and you need to just go back and watch it again, you've got an entire 30 days to go back into the actual virtual world and experience it. So even if your cousin's wedding is on May 20, 21, and 22, like literally, these are the reasons that people can't come to the summit, right?
No.
And of course, you got to go to your brother's wedding or your cousin's wedding, or you have to do those things. We would never suggest you shouldn't. But because we've gone virtual, this whole experience is going to live in this world for 30 days after the event. So
yeah, to the point made earlier, this is so everyone, you can attend. So register today.
Yeah.
All right, now let's do the Retail Rumble. Okay.
Oh, I think we've got one more from Chef Darren that we want to.
Oh, Chef Darren. Yeah,
Chef
okay.
Darren.
Here we go. Let's see Chef Darren.
Let's see what Chef Darren has to say.
This is my 5th year doing the summit. First 2 years were online during COVID, and now 3 years in person. And there's always more than I can accomplish in the course of a year, but it's always a great kick in the seat of the pants. Reminders of things that I maybe didn't get accomplished, and it's great to meet new people and make those store friends, so that it's a reminder that you're not the only one in the boat when things are going wrong, or you need a little support, encouragement, or new ideas for things to do in your store. The Retail Success Summit is the place to come to get those ideas, get that encouragement, and find that motivation that you need to take your business to the next level. So I highly recommend it, and it's well worth every money spent.
I'll be there again.
That's awesome. Love it.
Okay,
All right.
Good.
So, you ready to rumble, honey?
I'm ready to rumble. Remember, you'll get extra chances if you vote for me.
That's
I don't know
not
how
true.
that's gonna work.
You will get extra chances if you register for
That's
the summit
exactly
today.
right. Today.
10 chances today. Goes down to 4 chances tomorrow for the next week.
It really makes sense,
Yeah,
right? Especially
yeah.
with the money back, better than money back guarantee. Okay,
All
let's
right,
do it.
here we go. We're going to do a retail rumble. We've got 12 ideas in 12 minutes. We're a few minutes behind, so we're going to go slightly over 2 o'clock.
No, I'll go fast. We'll go fast.
You think we're going to get them done in under a minute?
We'll see what we can do. And remember, if you have any questions at all, Susan and I will stay as long as there are questions. So yes, we expect to be done in 8. We're going to go a couple minutes over.
12 minutes.
I'm going to go in under on mine. But
I'm
anyway,
going to give you full benefit of each
all
minute.
right, there you go. Anyway, we will stay for you. Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
It's Bob versus Susan. If you go over your minute, we're not gonna blast these in the studio.
Here.
But
we would be in trouble.
But Aubrey will get on the microphone and tell us we're being bad for going over our minute. So here we go, Bob.
Okay,
Are you ready?
I'm gonna start.
You're gonna start with idea number 1.
Idea
you got
number
1 minute.
Here we go. Okay.
Watch the timer count down.
Turn off the caller ID on your phone store. This came to us
your
from
store phone.
Store phone. This came to us from Neil Abramson, a Platinum Mastermind Group member. You know, do your employees ever look at caller ID and go, oh no, and their tone immediately shifts?
Oh, it's not that Bob Nagin calling.
Yeah.
Oh.
So by turning off caller ID, everyone will get the same amazing experience when they call your store. Boom.
Oh, nice. Look how much
All
time
right,
you
well,
have
then
left.
don't quit squandering
All
my
right.
makeup time here. See?
All right, here's mine. Add words to your windows. I know that everybody is working to make their windows as attractive and interesting as possible. Your windows are an amazing marketing tool to attract customers into your store. Words are powerful in that effort. So I gave 3 examples here. The first one, come in for your custom fitting. This is fantastic. A classic call to action with words in the window. Call to action words. The second ones are testimonial words. You see how they're in little word clouds? The little testimonies like, wow, this is amazing. Love this merchandise. And the last one, we have your t-shirt in the hostage cutout letters. Just a little bit of intrigue, like, ooh, what's going on in that store? Words to the window.
All right. Oh, boy, timing. Good timing.
know.
Okay,
There we
next
go.
one.
There you go.
Oh, low-hanging fruit, store hours. You know, there's a trend, and I think it's a really, really bad trend towards lower hours. You know, it was hard to find people after COVID, and so people are closed on Sunday. Some people are closed on Sunday and Monday. Some people close at 5. You cannot sell through a closed door, ladies and gentlemen. If you're closed on Sunday, you are missing out on 52 days of sales. If you're closed on Sunday and Monday, you are missing out on 104 days of sales. Here's my recommended store hours for brick and mortar retailers like you. At least 10 to 6 Monday through Saturday and 12 to 5 on Sunday. That's minimum. If you stay open till 7 or 8 during the week, that's even better, but you can't sell through a closed door.
Good job,
I know.
hon.
Thank you, dear.
Nice work. Okay, here is our next one. Greet customer with warm words of welcome within 15 to 30 seconds. Remember we talked about sales training as one of those key things that you can do to maximize your sales and cement those solid relationships with your customers. You have to greet your customer not too soon, but within 15 to 30, 40 seconds of them walking in the door. Every single customer, every single time. They need to feel that gratitude. They need to feel that welcome when they walk in the door. Warm words of welcome can be something like, hi, hello, welcome, good afternoon, good morning, hey there. It's not hard. They're just a few words, but they need to happen every time with every customer.
And it's not, how can I help you?
And
so
it's
let's
not,
move on.
it's not, how can I help you?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Okay. The first thing when somebody complains, the first words out of your mouth are not, I'm sorry. They are, thank you. You see, a complaint is a gift. They are telling you that you have not done what they wanted to do, and now they're giving you a chance to make it better. So not only when you say, I'm sorry, you're all of a sudden on the defensive. When you say thank you, you are indicating to them that you are on the same team and that you are going to work together to get them where they want to be. This is a powerful, powerful customer service technique.
Yeah, you just take all the wind out of their sails. When you say thank you, then they're suddenly miraculously not mad anymore.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly. It's a great technique.
Yeah.
All right, next one is send a vendor e-newsletter. Now, you probably, I hope you are, emailing your customers a lot, at least weekly. You should send a vendor email newsletter to, just like you send a customer email newsletter. Maybe not weekly, but maybe at least monthly. And you can talk to your vendors and tell them what's going on in your store. Tell them what's selling. What promotions are you doing? Talk about the employees. Give an employee profile. Send a picture of a display. Like if you start sending pictures of displays, Other vendors are going to be like, how come my stuff's not in your vendor display picture in your newsletter? What do I need to do to get in to have the big display? Tell them what you need from them. So communicate, become that amazing partner with a vendor e-newsletter.
Oh, your timing's beautiful.
I know.
Okay,
you were reaching for that.
I was going
you were
to
reaching
give
for
you
it.
the imaginary horn.
I know.
Okay, ADD. ADD is a concept that I created. I kept finding that when talking to clients, I would say, ask your team, ask your team, ask your team. And what I realized was asking your team is one of the most powerful ways for you to, number one, get great ideas, to tap into all of that knowledge and experience and creativity, and it gets your team involved thinking about your business. So ADD is ask, discuss, decide. So whenever you have a problem or an opportunity, ask your team how they think you should do it. Discuss it and then make a decision. ADD, one quick quote. Let them help you plan the fight and they won't fight the plan. ADD is how you do that.
Good job. Nice
thank
job
you.
getting it in a minute. All right, here's our next one. Number 8, shop other stores. This is the one that you were talking about. This is my idea. Shop other stores with your key.
I usurped you.
You did. Shop other stores with your key people. You and one other or two other people go out and shop the other stores in your town. Have a little checklist. Go with a checklist. Did they greet us? Did they try to add on? Is the front of their store clean? What do their windows look like? I don't know. You guys come up with a list of things that you're going to be looking for, but go in and take a look with your key people, your store managers, your key salespeople. Experience together the good that you see out there and also perhaps the bad and the ugly. And it should really, really inform. Then you do the ADD. Okay, we don't want this to happen in our store. What are we going to do? Powerful technique to engage your team.
Absolutely. All right. Never let an incident create a customer unfriendly policy that punishes the many for the bad behavior of the few. This happens all of the time. You probably see it, in your town. Maybe even you do this, but this idea of there's a problem. Somebody wants to return something.
An incident. It
An
happens.
incident. It happens once.
Or twice.
Yeah, but
or three times.
It's not a problem until it happens a lot of times. So never create a customer unfriendly policy when something happens once or twice or rarely. If it happens all the time, you got a problem, ADD it. But until then, resist the impulse to create a customer unfriendly policy.
Good one.
All right.
That's great. That's one of my favorites.
Mine too.
Yeah. Number 10, ethical poaching. It's true. It's hard to find great employees. You can use a Red Hot Help Wanted ad. We teach lots of different ways to go out and recruit. This is one of my favorites. When you have a great experience with somebody in a restaurant, at the dentist's office, wherever you are, say to them, hey, I hope you're happy here. And I'm sure you do. I hope you're happy here. But if you're ever looking for a change, and then give them your business card. This is Misha Seto again from Blooming Boutique. She carries these around in her purse, and it specifically says, if you're looking for a change, come and talk to me. I'd love to talk to you about a job at Blooming Boutique. Right? So you're not trying to go out and steal people, and you're hoping that they're happy where they are, but maybe they're not. And if they're not happy, they should come to you. Ethical poaching.
Always wear your recruiting hat. You're always looking for the next superstar.
Good.
Okay, the next one. Send a thank you note to someone at least once a week. This is a great habit. And just it's interesting because this made me recommit myself to doing this.
Yeah, I love this one.
But a customer, an employee, a vendor, a mentor, a friend, a partner. But you have so many people in your life who you can be grateful for. And, showing gratitude not only makes them feel good, it makes you feel good. The rule of reciprocity gets put into play. But I did this for a while, and I've sort of gotten out of it, but now I'm going to get back into it. Thank you for...
Yeah. You know, just go buy yourself a big stack of thank you notes. I think part of the problem is for people, the reason they don't do it is they don't have that big stack of thank you notes.
Yeah. So
buy yourself a big stack of thank you notes. Try 2 a week. Come on. You could do it. That'd be 104 thank you notes. Imagine the greatness you would have put out into the world with this particular idea. All right, our last one for today. Rest is a necessary activity. This came to me when I was on vacation with a bunch of my girlfriends.
Nice painted toes, honey.
Yeah, this is actually a picture of me resting on a beach.
I know.
And this came to me when I was with my friends. We were in Florida and we were having a great time, but I was having a little bit of anxiety because I felt like maybe I was being lazy, or maybe I should go back from the beach.
Hard enough.
That's right. I wasn't resting hard enough. Maybe I should go back from the beach and check my email. Friends, if you are resting, you are not being lazy. You must rest. You must take care of yourself. You must take downtime in order to be at your best when you are at work, when your team does need you, when your customers need you. Rest is an activity, not laziness.
There you go.
All right.
That's a great one. It's a great one to end it with,
It is. It's
All right.
It's going to be super important.
Okay.
All right, guys.
I see Aubrey over there.
Who won the Retail Rumble?
That's right.
Was it Bob?
Vote for me and I'll set you free.
Put it in chat. Let us know who you think won the Retail Rumble.
I see Aubrey over there writing names.
She's
like
writing
crazy.
furiously.
People who have registered during this event. And if you have registered, first of all, congratulations. You made a very, very wise decision. And secondly, thank you. So while Aubrey comes and brings those over, let's talk about it real quickly one more time. So the Retail Success Summit, what are the dates again?
May 20. You should know, honey.
Well, I'll be there. I
May
promise.
20, 21, and 22. Okay, Aubrey's putting a whole bunch in.
All right.
I think she's got a bunch.
Write them all.
You couldn't
You
write
couldn't
them all.
There we go.
Yeah.
It looks like a children's Christmas pageant snowing there. But
she's got the list. Don't worry, your names will all go in there.
It's going to be 3 days. Right now, what the world is? Oh boy!
You didn't. Just put it on the floor. We'll put all the names back.
I've never used this thing before.
We use it all the time.
Yeah, I know. Right now, until the end of the month, you can save $500. It's only $497.
Put it on the floor.
Okay, it's only It's only
a little pile of them
it's
right
only
here.
$497, and it does come with a better than money back guarantee. So if you're not thrilled at the end of the first day, let us know. We'll give you all of your money back plus $500. You'll have access for 30 days. But right now, if you register today, you get 10 chances to win the $1,000.
$1,000.
That's
Cash.
Right. Cash. This is real money.
Bob keeps saying he's threatening to put it in his pocket. No. It's going to you.
Then next week it goes down to 4, then 3, then 2, then 1.
Chance to win.
Chance to win. The fact that you have a better than money back guarantee. So you take no risk. And that you can have, and you will have access to all of the sessions for a full 30 days after the event.
Yeah.
It just makes it a no-brainer. And if you're going to do it, it makes it a no-brainer to do it today.
Yeah.
Because you get a chance to win $1,000.
Good.
So, having said all of that, we're going to take
questions, comments, thoughts.
No, Aubrey's got things. So
she's got a list of questions over there.
I've got the list of the winner. So, unfortunately, it looks like we only had a few votes, but we've got a landslide for Miss Susan.
Oh, yay!
She always wins.
You better start to bring some heat with some good ideas,
man.
huh?
Marie says it's because your ideas are great, but your toes are cute too.
Oh, I like it. Thanks,
it's
Marie.
the old cute toe advantage.
Cute. Maybe you need to get a pedicure for the next time.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
it.
funny. All right, Aubrey, do we have any questions? Questions about the retail? First of all, thank you for joining us. We're sorry we went about 5 minutes over.
Yes.
We apologize.
But yes, we really are grateful when all of you come and play along. So thank you. So now we'll.
Yeah. Are there any questions about any? We shared a lot of ideas today. Were there any questions about those ideas? Were there any questions about the Retail Success Summit?
So early on, we had a couple of questions that popped in about how much a gift certificate should be worth. You know, the favorite.
I almost gave that answer right in the time.
So
go ahead.
In two different ways. First, should it be a different amount for that top 100 customer? Thank you, no. Then it should be for the people when you're walking around your downtown business district.
Do you want to answer it or you want me to take it?
You go ahead and I'll say if I agree with you.
Okay. I'm right. Even though she won, I'm right.
Pressure's on. No, I'm sure we'll agree on this one.
So the answer is really kind of, there's a lot of ways to answer it, but really ask yourself, what are you willing to pay to acquire a new customer? So
this is for the walk around.
This is for the walk around.
For the walk around.
So you don't want to, it's always within the context of the lifetime value of a customer. But as a general rule, if your average ticket is in the $20 to $100 range, your gift certificate should be in the $5 to $20 range. Now, having said that, one of the things that's really great to do is to test. So give away equal amounts of $5 and $10 gift certificates.
See what happens.
Which one brings in more people? And which ones bring in the people that spend the most money? So this is a marketing tactic, but it's also a marketing tactic that the more you do it, the better you become at it. Whenever we teach this live, we always show a slide from the Zeckels from Cloud9 Pajamas. And they have a picture of a table, and the table's about this size, and it's all of the gift certificates that were redeemed in 1 quarter. And you can see they're different shapes, they're different sizes, they're different denominations. Some people, some of them have images, some of them have logos, and they just kept working it till they found sort of the sweet spot. Here's the other thing that the Zeckels shared in a live that we did like this, is that they went back and looked at it. Robin was on, live, and she said that she went back into their point of sale system and that they had generated over $400,000 in sales directly attributed to gift certificate giveaways. But now here's the thing that I asked that she didn't know the number of, but she estimated it to be in the millions. If the name of the game is to acquire a new customer with gift certificates to get somebody into your store, that's the first step. But then really where the value from a customer comes is with lifetime value.
Yeah, when they come back again and again and again and again
but
without
you want
the gift
them
certificate.
to come in again and again and again.
Yeah, good. So just to recap really quickly, your average sale, maybe 50% of your average sale would be a great starting spot for that particular technique, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it's your top 100 customers, what should you do then?
Well, then you can test, but you can afford to give a little more. You want that gift certificate to feel very, very generous. Because if they're your top 100 customers, they're not going to come in and just spend the amount of the gift certificate and leave. They're going to spend a lot.
Yeah.
So you can feel more comfortable giving away a higher value. And you want to appear generous because, again, these are your best customers.
Yeah. One of our top clients has a very, very high-end women's boutique, and she does this. She does a big gift certificate giveaway to her top 200, 250?
I think it's 250.
Her top 250 clients. And she gives away, hold on to your hats, like a $200 gift certificate.
Yeah, 250.
$250 gift certificate. Why? Because she knows that if she can get them back in the store one more time, they are likely to, I think her average spend was like $1,800.
Right. So these people, they think they have funny money here, but in actuality, yes, she's really, really, really crushing it.
Yeah.
And so here's another marketing lesson from this, because there's a tendency to think that you're giving away money.
Yeah.
But you're not.
No.
You're making money. And so when I remember having a conversation with her, and she felt very sort of anxious that she was sending it to her top 100. And the suggestion I made was, no. Keep going down the list, because
Yeah.
as long as people are still coming in and spending this money,
They were spending
you
like
know,
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times the amount of the gift
so
certificate.
it wasn't just send it to the top 100, then it became the top 150, then it became the top 200, then the top 250.
Yeah.
You know, she was making money all along with that. So that's a great question.
That was a great question.
Thank you.
Long answer, great question. What else we got?
Another one that came up earlier is hours, especially related to increase in minimum wage.
Got it. So this is a great question. So there's always the dynamic of minimum wage. Listen, you know, even with minimum wage, your team members are an investment. Everyone should be selling their weight when they're on the floor. This goes back to what we talked about, sales training. But you're cutting off your nose to spite your face if you say, I can't afford to have somebody on the floor.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to say it again. And, you know, and I know that people feel this question, sort of expresses that anxiety. Payroll is an investment. It's not a cost. And, you know, to the point, if you're closed on Sunday, you're missing 52 days. If you're closed at 5 o'clock, people who have a job, let's just put this scenario. Let's just say that you're open 10 to 5, Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, and you're closed on Sunday. What you're doing is anybody who has a job that works from 9 to 5,
most people that have money.
You are giving them 7 hours a week to shop with you.
No, you're not.
Yes.
If they're
Saturday.
open 10 to 5 on
Monday,
Saturday.
They're open from 10 to 5.
Yeah. Yes, you're right. I'm sorry. You're right. Yeah. Okay. You're right. 7 hours.
You're giving them 7 hours, you know, and people will go someplace else.
They're going to go online.
I'll just share with you. I have new glasses, and there are 2 places here in West Michigan that I wanted to go look at their glasses. And both of them were closed at 5 o'clock during the week, and one of them wasn't open at all during the weekends. The other one was only open till 5. And you know, it's just like, if you can't be there for me, I really don't want to spend money with you. And then we were out in Montana. They have a lovely eyeglasses store.
Yeah, independent glasses store.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing. Is I'm going to the independents. They gave me a great experience, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
You know, every time you let a customer go online, go to Amazon, go to
your competition, a big box store.
Go to a big box store. You're shooting yourself in the foot, because not only are you losing that sale, but you're losing part of the power of your relationship. Yeah. So they're getting a customer, you're losing a customer, and you know, we're independents. We cannot afford to lose customers.
So I'm going to add 2 things to this conversation. Number 1, you are responsible for your traffic. It was the very first thing that Bob said when we started
Good
this
point.
thing, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, you're going to open on Sunday. If you just unlock your door and sit somebody in there, and you've been closed for 10 years on Sunday, you're not going to have very much traffic. But put the pina colada principle into action.
This is such a great point, honey. Nice job.
Right?
Yeah.
You are responsible for driving traffic into the store on those days when you're open. Any day, Monday, Sunday, whatever. It's your job to drive traffic into the store.
And you're clever enough. This is the thing that I also want to say.
Yes.
You're smart enough, you're creative enough, you're clever enough. You can come up with the ideas. And if you ADD this with your team, say, so let's just use the example of Sundays. You're closed on Sundays. Now, this idea that you're losing 52 days worth of sales.
Holy smoly.
You go, wait a second, they're right. So then you go to your team and say, we're going to be open on Sunday. And they're going to say, well, nobody in our downtown is open on Sunday. Why should we be open on Sunday? And to Susan's point, you say, doesn't make any difference if everybody around us is closed. We're going to figure out how to do it. So this whole idea of ADD it with your team. Be open on Sunday.
Make it a fun experience.
Figure out the promotions.
We have this problem in our town with restaurants. Like, in our little town where we live here in Michigan, on Sunday, there's one single restaurant that is open. If we want to go out for dinner on Sunday, we have one choice.
No, that's not true. We could go to the national chains. There's an Applebee's.
Sure.
There's,
Sure.
this is the thing that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Is I see.
We could go to McDonald's for dinner.
So let me go on a rant here. Because, so I'll just use the example of one of our local hardware stores. They close at 2 o'clock on Sunday, even during the summer, right? And I have sat in front of this store and watched people drive up and drive away. And then...
And drive to Home Depot.
And they drive to Home Depot. And so the argument that I hear is we can't find anybody. And I'm going, well, wait a second.
No, that's just...
Home Depot's got more...
They're open with 50 people on the floor right now.
So anyway, excuse my rant, but if you're saying I can't find good people or I can't afford to pay good people and be open, I'm just calling bullshit. I'm just calling bullshit. That if you want to be successful, you have to do the things that... Is that a mic drop?
No, she just dropped her water bottle. That's okay.
Anyway, I apologize. I didn't mean to rant that way, but I really hope that you think about it that way. And let's just say one other thing real quickly.
And I have one more thing to say too.
Recruiting is a skill, right? So I'll share a quick story. So Misha, who you saw her ethical poaching card, she was in the Platinum Mastermind group for years and years and years. Her very first meeting, the first thing she said in her hot seat, we do this thing called hot seats. She said, I can't find anybody to work in my stores.
Yeah.
And so the very first question we asked her is, how many restaurants are there in Lewis, Delaware? Oh, there's a lot of restaurants. How many other stores are there in Lewis, Delaware? Oh, there's a lot of other stores. So in other words, there's lots of good people who are working in Lewis, Delaware. Is that correct? Yep. So then the question
is, they're just not working for you.
They're just not working for you yet. And that shifted her mind significantly. And she is never short of employees anymore. She always has people who want to work for her. But she's also been creative, right? She's developed that skill of recruiting. So, so what did you want to say?
My very last thing to say is, okay, let's just assume that all of the things are true. You can't afford it because of the minimum wage. And there's not enough people that you can find. Let's just assume that all this is true, right? Okay?
Yep.
Right?
We can go there.
Assume that all this is true.
Yeah.
Here's what I would suggest to you. You still need to be open 5-7 days a week. You should be open until 6 or 7 at night because that's when people who have a job with money can come and shop with you.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe what you do is you don't open at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning. Maybe you take that maybe you take that 7 hours off the bottom and you open at 11.
Yeah.
Not on Saturday, open at 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? But so what would my customer want? When does my customer want to shop with me? Not when have I trained my customer to shop with me. Because the number one shopping hour in the day is Saturday. In the week is, I think it's Saturday from 12 to 2. That's the number one shopping segment. And the second biggest shopping segment across all retail is Sunday from 12 to 2. So you're missing it if you're not open.
Yeah.
Okay, we beat this one to death.
Yeah, exactly. But
Aubrey's
anyway.
going to throw the dead horse at us.
The person who asked the original question came back and said, "Thank you so much for this chat about the hours. You've given me stats for my husband, and thanks for being our marriage counselor."
There you go. All right. But, it is so true. Anyway, but it really does, And so let me just share one more thing about this to whoever. Speaking of beating a dead horse. Speaking of beating a dead horse, and that's an EOS concept, so not a animal cruelty concept. But going back to this whole thing, this idea of it's just so important that you treat your business like a professional. And, if you're not open for people, they're not going to take you as seriously as if you are open. If you walk down the streets of Grand Haven, Michigan on Sundays, even during the summer, what you'll find is that the new merchants are the ones that are closed. And if you look at the merchants who have been open for 20, 30, 40, the case of Fortino's, if Kelly's here, 110 years. The people who are the best merchants, who have been around the longest time, the most successful retailers on the street, they're the ones who keep the longest hours. You go in February, the Mackinac Kite Company's open till 8 o'clock at night during the weekday in February. It's cold and desolate in Grand Haven, Michigan.
And they're responsible for driving their traffic.
And they drive traffic. Yeah. They make it worth their while.
Good.
So,
all right. Aubrey's holding the microphone. We're going to move on.
I was just going to say, you guys have answered all the questions that have come up on chat. It's a great job. But I think it'd be great if you could remind us all, Retail Success Summit, where do we go? Why do we need to get by it?
www.retailsuccesssummit.com. It's an amazing, this year, 3-day virtual event with world-class retail information. If you like just the the small amount that we shared with you today, you are going to have your mind blown by all the amazing content, all the amazing things you're going to learn at the Retail Success Summit from me, from Bob, from our guest speakers, from our amazing keynote speaker, Ari Weinswide from Zingerman's. I'm so excited to have him back again this year. It is the retail recharge that you need. And come with us and imagine all the amazing things that your business can be and will be, and let us help you figure out how to make it a reality. That's the Retail Success Summit.
You deserve every success. You deserve it. But you also have to make that step. You have to do the things you need to do to get where you want to go. And the Retail Success Summit is a wonderful, wonderful way. It's a wonderful part of that. So,
yeah.
Yes.
On special right now, early bird special, save $500. It's only $497 right now. You split that up over the 3 days, divided by the 1,000 ideas per day you might get. It's this is the best value around. But we also, if you buy today, are going to give you 10 chances to win. Those will all go back $1,000. So we're going to do the drawing on April 30th, the last day of the month, and give some lucky retailer $1,000. So register and get your 10 chances today. No reason not to.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate you. We appreciate everything you do in the world. And thanks for being here. See you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.